Oh, hi guys, this is Dan back with another tutorial for astronauts, and this time we're looking at hiring crew. So one fair warning when you do have crew members is I would refrain from using the crew switch button and just select your crew members from the screen, because that also makes sure, like I have 3 people now, 2 of which are now in this plane of existence. And Olu, he's actually on the ship. If I switch to him, that'll be game breaking in the sense that okay, so I can tell Kelly here to just go back to the ship, return to the ship. Okay, and she will do that, and that's fine and dandy. I can select her and go auto task, and she will go and do that. Bada boom, bada bang. Okay, so say I switch now with my key to go to a different person. Load the other scene. Both there. Now if I switch back, things are amiss. Let's see if we can access anything. If we go to port now, it works. We actually switched, but our guy is invisible. Even our ship is broken. If we switch to our guy, ship is actually missing. I wish that stutter wasn't a thing. If I go to port now, and we're basically on the same playing field, all 3 characters are on the same playing field together. Here we go. And everything is perfectly functional. So be aware of that. In the current stage of the game, switching to characters is finicky. On the same playing field, no problem. Every person is randomly generated and has their own skills. But what we're looking for is at least a ship breaker. Because we like for people to be skilled in, well, repairs, maintenance, that kind of thing. So if we look at Alexandra here, she's a bartender, has a lot of hidden skills, but just right from the get-go, you know, yeah, not worth spending our time and money on her. Then we have Kelly here, and she's 27, and she's got a lot of hidden skills. Note that there's 4 times, 8 times, and 4 times here. So there's a few hidden ones that we just know nothing about. One we know is that she's skilled in persuasion. Fair enough. Okay, we can see some of her equipment and in what condition she is in. This is important for what's gonna happen next. So let's just open up with what's up. We can expand this. See what happens. Oh, we didn't see that, I guess. We didn't catch the game, unfortunately. Okay, now we get also the hire as crew, and of course note that there's a lot of options here for, well, I've talked to people a lot and my guys learned a few things. So yeah, let's go into hire as crew and see if she even goes for it. If she was anything but acquaintance, so anything less than acquaintance, unfriendly or whatever, she probably wouldn't even go for it, but she should. Okay, agrees to negotiate about employment. Fantastic. So we've got the foot in the door for that. What does this mean? Well, that means that we have now some expanded options here, which is the advanced options. And also note on the right now we have a tab. Those are her contract requirements. So she doesn't need a sign-on bonus. She is asking for $254 a day and a death pay of $65,000. Okay, that's great. And let's just see if she will tell us a little bit more about her skills so that we can decide if she's any good for us. And with that many hidden skills, she's most likely also skilled in anything that matters for the ship, so you can pretty well assume that already. And she didn't tell us anything, so let's just tell a riveting tale and see what happens. We'll just fiddle around a little bit, Be nice if she replied to us. So, okay. And then let's do... See how they are. Consider some friend. Oh, okay. Wow, that was quick. We're actually befriended now. The urgency of the situation, and then let's just listen. And note also that the time advance is automatic, which is really good, so we're not wasting any time. So, nods and listens intently, and let's try just asking about skills again. Okay, well, she's telling us a couple things here, how she feels, but not actual skills. Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. So, let's just see if she will go for a little less death pay. So here are our adjustments. We can increase, decrease death pay, subtract or add a sign-on bonus, and we can mess with her salary. So let's just do decrease death pay by 1, which drops it by 5,000. I show you why this information is important. Let's see if she goes for it. And it tells you that if she was oppressed, it would automatically fail. If she was humiliated, or even if her security was anxious, it would also fail. So let's just see if she goes for the offer now. Boom! Oh wow, okay, that was super easy. She actually went for it. But it's probably because she's friend. So if it was remained as, they see us as friend and we see them as acquaintance, even that makes it more difficult. So we'd have to work on the relationship a little bit, and she'll go for better options. Now that we did that, let's have a look here at the finances. So the death pay and salary are basically due right away. And if there was a sign-on bonus, that is also due right away. However, if we don't pay her right now, and we just select her, and expand this again, and we'll fire them. Okay, so we could have moved her around, you know, she was part of our crew, but now we fired her. Now we hire her back. Oh, I should have... Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hire her back and I'll show you something else. But let's mess with it. So, let's decrease the death pay by a lot. So let's go to like 35,000. Go crazy. Okay, we'll ask about skills again. Okay, she doesn't want to tell us anymore. But see, what we did now is I added a $1,000 sign-on bonus, and I decreased her salary, and I severely decreased the death pay. Let's see what happens. We could change the subject and get right back to the hiring. Hey, look at us. I'm actually gonna show her a trick. Kind of cute. Yeah, so let's go return to the subject. Okay, so let's see if she will go for the hiring, the job. Okay, so boom, because we're befriended, she actually now agreed to a death pay of 35,000. So we're actually half the death pay. We may pay $1,000 right from the start, but we're saving $30,000 if we kept her. But now here's the thing. If actually, let's look at it. Let's look at it first. So see, the sign-on bonus we pay, and if I fired her, we still pay. That's gone. $1,000 is gone no matter what. It's still worth working up to being befriended with them if you do that even once or twice. You know? And then you can drop the death pay and even the salary quite a bit. So instead of like 70,000, it costs us 38,000. So let's just pay her. Okay, we'll keep her on. And what we can do, this is something that if you want to befriend her and you hire her the first time just to get a better deal the next time around, just save yourself the sign-on bonus and increase the death pay because it doesn't cost you anything. But let's talk to her and ask her about the skills again. So we'll do that. Okay, she's telling us something. Skilled in 0G ops. She actually told us. Okay, but I want to ask one more time. And then I'm gonna select her and let's see here. Look at this. So we have selected Kelly and we can actually see her skills in the options because we can reply to Ron, who just asked about the skills, and she's skilled in acting, masonry, mechanical engineering, spaceship. So it listed right here. So when you go for her the first time and you hire her, look in here and see if she's, you know, what you're looking for. And then if you don't want her, just move on to the next person. So now that we have Kelly hired, so Ron can move around. So Kelly can move around. Okay, we can give her commands, like we can send her to the ship. That's the best thing. You don't need to walk them back. Even if like you give them something in their inventory, then you would just select your guy, you would talk to them, and you would tell them to return to the ship. And of course also note that when you have crew members, they will show up in your save games, which is kind of convenient. You can actually see the portraits of them. Yeah, okay, so we're on the ship now, and we have Olu is up here, he's fixing stuff. We have Ron over here, he's looking at the wall, and we have Kelly here. And when we select Kelly, every time we select a character, we can see their own reports down here. And for Kelly, we see, oh, Kelly O'Neill shore leave denied. Okay, well, let's have a look, because whenever you hire a crew member, I highly recommend you set up the roster first. And, well, we already messed with it. The only thing we forgot is to change disembark, airlocks, and restore parts. Obviously, if we don't want them to leave or repair anything and focus on building, well, then we would deselect those features. But as for the roster, say for Kelly now, we set all this up. Okay, so Ron was set up and Olu was set up. And preferably we would do it in such a way that everybody can share the one bunk and sleep at different times. So someone is always rested, ready to go. Okay, then what we would do is try and set them up the same way. And ideally we give them 2 full hours of free time before their bedtime. That's always nice. So let's do that here. And we'll just hold the button, the left mouse button down and drag. Okay, and that's 8 to 23. 4, 5, we'll go 1 more hour. That they overlap here is okay. And then we'll go to work. Stop here and go back. Bada boom, bada bang, and then select the last one. So now they're overlapping mostly, and everybody can rest at a different time, work at a different time, and that is okay. So we've set up the roster, and then now she should be okay, and she's ready to do whatever she needs to do. The other thing that we can do, of course, is with the help of our zones, let's say we wanted to prevent them from leaving a specific part of the ship, then we can just set up a zone. And unfortunately, we cannot layer zones. So, you know, we got this main zone set up, but we cannot build another zone here. It doesn't happen. What we can do is we'll just delete this. And the main thing is you set up zones for your border. That's okay. But let's make a strip from wall to wall. And I guess we'll have to select a new one here. That again. Add a zone. Have to scroll down. And we'll call it restrict. Leave it green, that's okay. Or we can make it a different shade of red. There you go. Restrict. Forbid. And let's leave it for just the crew. So our captain can move through it. But any of the other crew members, anybody you hire that is not the main character, cannot go through there. So let's see what she does. Can't get to. See, so because she's prohibited by the zone, she will remain in this part of the ship. You have to be careful with that, and ideally select through your characters to make sure that they're not restricted in a weird way and die of that restriction. So just check your zones and only use them when necessary. But yeah, you can just lift the forbidden. And then of course, the biggest use that I find for the crew members is not only for storage. Say Olu here, if I fill up his inventory, his backpack, what the heck, is he terrified? Not sure, doesn't post right now, but we can fill his inventory, and that is great. It's movable inventory, but also, of course, we can use them for orders on the ship. So usually what I try and do is maintain at least the walls and the floor around the walls. Not that it's necessary to do the floor, but let's say wall and conduit. And we would go to our wall visibility, and then we would go repair. And we can just select around the walls here. And yes, I like to use the keys because they are a lot more precise than me with a mouse. I'm an old guy, so there. Can zoom in too. And we would go all the way around the periphery of the ship. You remove the visibility. And then, yeah, now we have the ugly icons there, but we will know whether it's been done or not. And as long as everybody is on auto task, they will do what is necessary. And in this case, if we want to prioritize our characters to fix the ship and not parts that are laying around, well, then go into the roster and just remove the restore parts. Okay, and then we will have our characters repair circuits or conduits as well as the walls. And the same thing applies, of course, to the floor. If we check our floor and find that it needs repair, we can go on our screen here. And this is actually a good example too for having your lights on a switch, because now we have a green light here and red lights there, and it's messing with the visibility of our repair. Like, these are really dark red, but the floor is fine, right? So what we would do is we could just switch the lights off, and as long as we have some illumination here with our character, then we can see the condition of things.